You are with David House of Saving Health Ministries, and many of you are aware that Bad Bunny performed at the halftime show for the Super Bowl. And when you consider a name like Bad Bunny, Bunny is usually associated with Playboy, and that is promoting nakedness, nudity, sexual immorality. And when you consider his name being chosen and he being the premier performer at this event where over 130 million people are watching, it is not surprising that it was promoted with sexual immorality. Notice the headline here. It says, GOP rep wants Bad Bunny's halftime show investigated for gay sexual acts. This article goes on to mention that the songs that he performed are widely known for explicit sexual references. Also mentions there was widespread twerking, grinding, pelvic thrusts, and sexual suggestive conduct. So, brothers and sisters, we're seeing the sexual immorality here on full display before all America, and this is what was promoted on the Super Bowl halftime show. So again, now you have an investigation going on. Here in another article, it says Republicans suggest Bad Bunny performance merits FCC action. So there's going to be an investigation in regards to this. But if you notice the photos that are on the screen, you have Bad Bunny dressed in all white. You have the Pope dressed in all white. You have Bad Bunny standing on a white truck. You have the Pope standing on the white truck. Was this performance a subliminal message of promoting the Pope in America? Was it? There's lots of similarities. When we even consider the attire, the apparel of Bad Bunny, it's close or similar to that of the Pope. Notice the headline, Super Bowl, Bad Bunny puts on a queer, inclusive show with Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. Now, so these are three Roman Catholics that performed at the Super Bowl halftime show. 3 Catholics performed at the Super Bowl halftime show. We're seeing the music of Daniel chapter 3 is being played. Notice what the Bible says. Daniel 3 verse 5 says that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music. That means all genres of music. Even reggaeton, which is one of the newer genres of music that is very sensual in nature and promotes sexual promiscuity. Think about that. The music is leading people into committing sin. We have to be careful what we listen to. It says, in all kinds of music, you fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. So here you had Babylon of old involved with all kinds of music. Who's modern day Babylon? The Catholic Church. All the Protestant reformers pointed to the Catholic Church as Babylon of Revelation 17. Martin Luther started Lutheran Church. Roger Williams, who founded the Baptist Church. John Wesley, who started the Methodist Church. These men all pointed and protested against Rome because the Bible exposes her as the harlot of Revelation 17. So she is Mystery Babylon, and notice how she's described. Revelation 17 and verse 5 says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. A harlot? Sexual immorality. Abominations? The lies, the deception, the debauchery, the crimes against humanity. There's no organization that is worse than the Catholic Church based on Bible prophecy. And what has she said in the Catholic record? That Sunday is her mark of authority and that she is above the Bible, and the transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. So just as Babylon of old enforced a law that was contrary to God's law by telling people to bow down to the image, and we know that the 10 Commandments says not to bow down to any graven image, modern day Babylon is doing the same by leading people to break the Sabbath, which is Friday sunset to Saturday sunset, and leading people to embrace Sunday, which is Babylonian and not Christian. What does the Bible say concerning the Sabbath? That it's the 7th day, according to Exodus 20 and verse 8 through 11. So very soon, America is going to enforce a Sunday law in honor of the Catholic Church. That's what Trump has been promoting. Notice the following clip, how he says he wants to stand side by side with Catholics.
Catholics are an important part of the American story. America has been strengthened by hardworking Catholics. From New York to California, the Catholic story is truly unique, and it's a great story. From marching for civil rights to educating millions of children, serving the poor, and helping define the pro-life movement, clergy and lay Catholics across the country have made countless contributions to the American success and the American success story. Washington politicians have been hostile to the church. They have been hostile to Catholics. They have been hostile to the members of Catholicism. My administration will stand side by side with the American Catholics to promote the values we all share as Christians and Americans. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. We will make America great again.
Now that you've seen the clip, you heard him say, promote the values we all share. Nope. Seventh-day Adventists and Sabbath keepers don't share those same values regarding Sunday. So the music of Daniel 3 is being played and prophecy is about to fulfill. History is about to repeat itself. Now I need you to see how this is connected to the first Babylon, because at the first Babylon, which was the Tower of Babel, they were speaking in languages where people could not understand. And what just happened at the Super Bowl halftime show? They did the whole performance that Bad Bunny did was in Spanish, and most people watching couldn't understand. This is showing you the modern day Tower of Babel. The image of Babylon is being set up right in America. Remember in Genesis chapter 11, the Bible tells us in verse 1 that the whole earth was one language and of one speech, and they said they wanted to build a tower that would reach unto heaven. If there were a flood, that it would happen again, that it would save them from the flood. So they wanted to save themselves, salvation by works. Notice what it says in verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Go, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So what you're seeing by the performance at the Super Bowl taking place in the Spanish language and most people not being able to understand, this is the modern day Tower of Babel being established right now, which means we're on the verge of a Sunday law. But we're going to take it a step further. When you consider that most Americans don't even speak Spanish, it means that the globalist left have pushed this agenda in response to what's happening with ICE, because they are against the stance that Donald Trump has established to bring in law and order and to stop the illegal immigration. As you see on the screen, it states, protecting the American people against invasion. The ICE situation is bigger than just dealing with illegal immigration. Remember, there are sleeper cells in America, and there were middle-aged military men from China and other adversaries of America that came in under the Biden administration. And the purpose of ICE is not just dealing with illegal immigrants, but it's seeking out these sleeper cells to rid America of these foreign agents that are seeking to create havoc in America. Remember, we've been preaching about this invasion since 2018 or 19. So please understand that the ICE situation is a real serious one, and you're going to see how serious it is on the dark day. So what we're seeing with this Super Bowl performance is a push back against Trump from the left, and that's why it was all in Spanish. Now, who wants the illegal immigration? The Pope does. Notice the headline here. It says, Pope Leo condemns Trump's immigration policies. So this is a pushback from the globalist left to say America is done, because now the greatest stage that America has regarding football and the halftime show was not even done in English. It was done in Spanish. In other words, they're saying America is done. America is no more. And when we see the connection between the Pope Mobile and him being on his white truck and Bad Bunny, him dressed in white being on his white truck, and the two looking very similar, brothers and sisters, 3 Catholic performers at the halftime show, you're seeing a message is being sent to Trump. This halftime show was very prophetic in nature. We are at the end. Daniel 3 is being fulfilled. Genesis 11 is being fulfilled, which means probation is about to close. Are you in a saving relationship with Jesus? And have you made things right with your fellow man? It's important to note that you had 2 prominent Catholic performers at the halftime show. Here it says 2 American Catholics stole the Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga turned the world's biggest stage into a celebration of faith, family, and the diversity of American Catholicism. So here you're seeing how they're promoting these artists who are Catholic. Is it by chance that he was dressed in all white, much like how the Pope is dressed in all white? Notice here another article. It says New York's new Archbishop quotes Bad Bunny and El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico in latest mass. So you have an archbishop from the Catholic Church who is quoting Bad Bunny lyrics at the St. Peter's Cathedral in New York City. Very interesting. Totally out of place for religious organizations to be quoting sexual, immoral people such as Bad Bunny. The Archbishop didn't stop with reggaeton references. He moved across eras and genres. It says the new Archbishop of New York, Ronald Hicks, stepped into one of the most influential pulpits in the United States and did something unexpected. He opened his ministry in the Big Apple by weaving Bad Bunny lyrics into a homily at St. Patrick's Cathedral. It goes on to say, if you want to have fun with charm and style, all you have to do is spend a summer in New York, he said in Spanish, echoing the opening lines of NUEVAYoL by Bad Bunny. Now, understand, brothers and sisters, you're weaving music that's sexually immoral in nature into your sermon? Then he goes on to say, the Archbishop didn't stop with reggaeton references. He moved across eras and genres, quoting New York State of Mind by Billy Joel and Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z featuring Alicia Keys. So clearly we're seeing Daniel 3 and verse 5 being fulfilled, which tells us all kinds of music. And then they fell down to worship the golden image. All kinds of music. And modern day Babylon is using all kinds of music to bring in their harvests of souls. Obviously, it's a harvest to damnation. It's a harvest to hell, because this is not conversion. This is not being born again. This is not transformation. And this is not godly, heavenly music. This is satanic music that the Catholic Church is promoting. So as already stated, Bad Bunny was raised Catholic. So just as we see sexual immorality in the Catholic Church with what is happening with the priest and all the pedophilia and the child sex abuse that is going on, the same type of mentality is being pushed through the music of Bad Bunny, which therefore what we're actually seeing is a fulfillment of Daniel chapter 3. And as there in Daniel 3, we see the music was played first and then the law was implemented that was a violation of God's law. We're very soon going to see a law, a Sunday law in America in response to this immoral music that is being played by Bad Bunny and many others that is being promoted in front of all of America. So you have this immoral lyrics that were promoted that's now being investigated by the FCC, and you have this immoral dancing that was going on in front of all of America to see. This is the beginning of the collapse of America. And when I say the collapse, remember, national apostasy leads to national ruin. And what will be that national apostasy? A Sunday law. And what will be the ruin? The judgments that fall upon America, the earthquake, the tsunami, the day going dark, the invasion by China and Russia on American soil, where the White House will be hit and some Americans will be taken captive over to foreign lands. The wormwood prophecy fulfilling, causing many men to die of the waters near the Gulf of America. Also, the tsunami that will strike Tampa Bay, Florida. And someone will be turned into a pillar, a statue, just like Lot's wife. God is going to make an example out of someone that professes to believe the third angel's message. So we are witnessing the fulfillment of the image of Daniel chapter 3 being established, and soon the formation of the image of the beast will be established in America, and you will have to make a choice whether you're going to bow to the Pope in honoring Sunday, or you're going to follow Jesus and what the Bible says in honoring the seventh-day Sabbath according to the commandments. What will be your choice? Will you follow Jesus or the Pope? Will you follow the Bible or will you follow a man? Acts 5 and verse 29 says, we ought to obey God rather than men.